Now you need a house. Here's the thing about this. And I've been doing this for a long time, guys. So we've sold close to 1,000 houses now. This year we have closed 143 houses this year to real estate investors. So we've seen a lot. I'm kind of jaded with the house thing because we see people make money all over town, all different types of properties. Big rehabs, small rehabs. Evanston, we had somebody just make 38 grand on a flip in West Price Hill. Ooh, Price Hill. They did it. They bought it for $30,000. They put 30 into it. They sold it for like 125. Look, Cincinnati, we're lucky. Like, we don't have like huge swaths of the city that are just completely vacant because the schools are bad. Like, there isn't really an area like that. You can make good money here in Cincinnati, flipping houses. The house is really not that part of it. It's just a means to an end. But what I'm going to give you are some things to consider when you're picking out a house. One, let your goal drive your decision. So that house should line up with what the goal is. If you don't know what the goal is, then how the heck do you know what house you're going to buy? You know your goal. This is how much money I want to make, and this is how much time I want to make in it. So, let your goal drive your decisions, not your gut, or you're just going to end up with heartburn, okay? Well, I don't like houses that have this, and I don't like houses that don't have more than one bathroom. Because every house in my neighborhood that only has one bathroom is sitting vacant. Right? Is that true? No, do you just drive down streets and like, oh, that's vacant. Oh man, all these one bathroom houses, they're all vacant. Guys, I'm telling you, like, I hate to say it, I know it sounds jaded, but when you've gone through as many houses, you've sold as many houses to investors as I have, and our company has and our team has, I'm just telling you, the house is really not that important because all those weird things about it, it's already baked into the price. It's already baked into the area. So the schools may not be that great compared to wherever it is that you live. So in your opinion, they're not as good. But guess what? All the other people that live there, they all send their kids to that school. It's baked into the price. It's already there. There's not one area, as long as there's comparables, that's not selling, right? So this is what I'm going to tell you to look at. I'm going to give you a list of things that are less important, that you might think are more important, and a list of things that are more important. The price. Yes, the price is a factor. Absolutely it is. But don't think of it this way. Think of it in the terms of this. A price is a price, right? It's not good or bad, it's this. But what matters is this. What's the profit margin? You might buy a house that's $30,000. That's why these statistics are hilarious. Oh, the greatest cities for house flipping. Do you know what they base it on? They base it on gross profits. Gross profits. That means the house was bought for this and then sold for that. Spectacular. Yeah. They have no idea what it needed in work, right? And there was like this thing on Facebook. It was like all these, I was like, this is insane. I'm trying to sell some coaching thing. Well, it doesn't matter. What matters is the margin. Look at the margin. So if whoever you're finding your houses, if it's your agent or whoever, make sure you know about what you can make on that deal after all your carrying costs, resale costs, rehab costs, of course. Look at the profit margin, not just the price. And look at the total project cost. How much do you want to be into the property for all in? That means purchase price, rehab, carrying costs, electric bill, taxes, heating. We're coming in the winter right now, right? Resale costs on the back end when you go to sell it. Look at those things. So instead of focusing just on the price, look at the profit margin, look at total project cost. Less important, how it smells. Gosh. One of the houses that an investor made the most money with last year, he made over $60,000 using a 15% hard money loan. He made over $60,000. His out-of-pocket costs were $16,000, and he netted $60,000 in profit on a hard money loan. Oh yes, the interest rate was 1.25% a month, but he only carried it for 3 months. He made like 2 payments, and he was in and out of that deal. If I could sell you a house for $15,000 you can make $60,000 on, would you do it? Would you care what interest rate I charge you? No.
Was it so cheap because it smelled bad?
There was literally, I would just say this, the people that lived there, and this was one that we did buy in a package of tax liens, the people's water had been shut off for about 6 months and they were still living there. So there were things in the house It smelled. We'll just leave it at that, okay? I'll show you pictures of it. I have pictures of it. All right. Don't worry about how it smells. And don't worry necessarily about what needs to be done. Oh, with this. Oh, yeah, but I got to do it. Last time I checked, you weren't a framer. You weren't going to be going in and doing any work yourself. Oh, it's got a pool that's all busted up. I got to fill it in. Excuse me, you who? Are you going to go rent a Bobcat and fill the back? No, you're not. Hopefully not. Don't worry about what needs to be repaired. Look at the total repair cost. I know how it is. You look at houses, and you're like, man, you're just trying to find a reason not to buy it. But look at how long it'll take. So knowing your rehab rate, going back to what we talked about before, how quickly can you get this done? Using the average of about $3,000 to $5,000 a week. And again, it should all play back to your goal. If you try to fill a pool in by yourself, it's going to take you a long time. It's probably going to be horrible. But somebody who knows what they're doing can knock it out in one afternoon. Less important in the area. School district, not that important. It's baked in. What happens in the areas with the great school districts? I got a house in Westchester right now I'll try to sell you. It's Dakota Schools. Yeah. We've had it for a week. Most of our houses sell in about 2 days. Why hasn't it sold yet? Great school district. It's not even on the market.
More expensive and less returns.
Right. It's more expensive. So because the areas that are the good, a lot of people want those, the prices get driven up. Also, not as many people, most people pay their bills up there, so you don't have as many foreclosures, right? Oakley is a great example. Oakley is insane. I live in Oakley. It's insane right now. Everybody's jumping in. It's driving the prices up, right? But Oakley's in Cincinnati Public Schools. Oh no. Hyde Park School is one of the best elementary schools in the city. Walnut Hills High School. One of the top high schools in the state. Cincinnati Public Schools. It's not Blue Ash. Sycamore. So you have these things, these boogeymen of real estate investing that don't really matter. They're baked into the price. Look at the comparables. It doesn't matter where that Price Hill house that they sold. I couldn't believe that. That was awesome. But they had comparables to show, this is what it should sell for. This is a factor. Instead of worry about the area much, do worry about the distance from your house. If you live in Batavia and you're trying to knock out a rehab in College Hill, you're going to hate life. So one thing to consider, the area is important, but relative to where you live. Yes, Ben?
How far away?
I don't know, I guess it's your own comfort level, I mean, if something that's kind of on your route, I've heard stories of people that they get properties that are on their way home from work so they can go home and check them out, But if it's too far away and you're trying to drive all over there, you're going to end up not going. So, and then also average days on market. So these are the things you need to focus on. Look, they are important. They're just less important. Look at these things first. Because what's the average days on market? That's that marketing piece on your goal. So when I say let your goal drive what you buy, look, $10,000, say I want to make $10,000 in 25 weeks. Reasonable, right? So I know it's going to take me 3 weeks to close. And I know it's going to take me 6 weeks on the back end to close. No matter how fast I sell it, it's probably going to take me about 6 weeks to close. So these are your variables. So when you go look at a house, and if you look at one from us, you can flip to the back of the marketing packet and you can look at the comparative market analysis and you can see on average how many days on the market are houses in that area selling for. And you plug that number in here. And then you look at the rehab and you say, okay, based on about $3,000 to $5,000 a week, the rehab is going to take me about this time. And why did I want to do 25 weeks? Because I wanted to get a check next spring. Oh, that's if you bought a house today. So we do have some available if you want to buy a house tonight. But in all seriousness, though, it would look something like this. So rehab about 7 weeks. That would be a house that's maybe $35,000 in rehab, which is pretty average. And then you look at the days on the market of the packet and say, okay, I can't buy a house in an area that has days on market longer than 9 weeks on average, based on the comps. Is that based on your gut or based on the comps? Based on the comps. Does it make sense? Common sense stuff, right? Okay. So you can make more on a beat-up house in an area you've never heard of than on clean houses in your neighborhood. Here's that house I was showing you. This guy made a boatload of money on this house. I don't have any. I didn't include after pictures in the presentation. It is on our Facebook page. You can look it up. This is in Kennedy Heights, which some people don't think is a great area. But we've seen people make a boatload of money in Kennedy Heights. This is the, I didn't include the picture of the bathroom because I wanted to save you all that, but that's the bedroom right there, the front room. I mean, this thing was awful. I believe they bought it from us for like $27,000. And he sold it for $158 or something like that. A lot. It was good. Did a good job. He knocked the rehab out in about 2 months too. It was cool.